This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Deadlands role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Chains of Hatred. It was written by Alex Sun, who is also our game marshal. The system we are using is Deadlands, which is part of the Savage Worlds role-playing game, and this is episode 6. Our recap will be given by Max Meltzer as his character, Buongiorno Cucciarelli. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Max?
All right, last time on Chains of Hatred. Our intrepid anti-heroes, after escaping from the horrible prison, had to make some quick cash and find some horses. Joe and Jeremiah went into town, where Jeremiah had to do his best to hold his tongue in the local bar, while Joe cleaned out the card game there. Eustace, Bongiorno, and Ambrose wandered the wasteland, where they encountered a mysterious occult wagon. The owner of the wagon, an eccentric man in a fez, said he would help them with their brands if they retrieved some skin gloves from the house of the Mad Warden. Reluctantly, the gang agreed and were able to make it into the prison, only to find that it had been taken over by a mysterious demonic entity known as Legion. Legion said they wanted 2 fresh corpses in exchange for the skin gloves and all the gold in the safe. In order to retrieve these gloves, we went to a recently slaughtered campground. The bodies were tracked to a wolf den, and Bongiorno walked in fully confident in his ability to dispatch the wolves within. However, the wolves were tougher than expected and nearly killed him. He was only saved by a timely kick from Eustace's mule.
Right, you can have a Benny for that recap.
Yeah.
And at this point, the dust has settled. These wolves, they've been slain. Cucciarelli is bleeding out on the ground. I think his half his body is within the den of this cave, and he's got a lot of bite marks, and he's quickly soaking his clothes in a pool of blood he's laying in.
As I recall, I grabbed
And
his
you've been
legs and
shot.
pulled him out.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. And you've been shot in the buttocks.
Mm.
So that does not feel good as well. So what's everyone doing?
I think I'm
It's
pulling
still
out
the
my.
morning.
I think I'm pulling out my bag, rubbing some bones together, and having a little quick prayer, and then with the other hand, laying it down on poor broken, not perforated ass, but broken and beaten Bongiorno, and casting healing.
All right, great. You look over Clank, and it seems like it's just aesthetic damage. It went through most of the fat in the buttock, but Cucciarelli, he's been mauled pretty badly. So you can go ahead and make that healing roll for me.
Yeah,
So he is wounded 3.
I can't replenish his ego, but I can at least knit flesh back together. So that'll be a 5. So
Okay.
ideally, I want to do more than one.
Very
Have a
well.
Benny for a reroll.
You may. I'll take your Venny and use it for myself. My own
I purchased a D12 in
nefarious
faith. I want it
purposes.
to come up with something better than a 5. Yeah,
Yep, so
that's
every
better.
raise will heal an additional.
Yeah, that's a 9 from me, so that is a raise.
All right, so you quickly start to patch his wounds with magic. What does this look like? What are the trappings of this?
Mostly similar to lay on hands, maybe with a little bit of a glow around that, almost like a That's a bit too close to being blessed. I was going to say parting of the clouds and light coming down, but no, there's
Mm.
a gentle warm glow around.
Ooh, it feels warm, like a nice fire on a cold day. So you can go ahead and remove 2 wounds, which means you're wounded 1, Gujarelli. And yeah, this takes maybe about 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Actually, no, if it's magic, it's instantly. There you
Yeah, I
go.
think it's just it's touch, and I think it's just the matter of the round that it takes to cast.
Yeah. And let's say it takes either a greater healing power or natural healing for that wound 1 that he has remaining. So maybe Kujarelli's walking around with a limp he's clutching at his side. But other than that, you're at the remnants of this camp, which has been ripped apart. There's a few limbs around.
Yeah, I don't likely suspect that Legion will be satisfied with the potluck of various body parts. And I don't imagine, given what the wolves did to Bonjourna's uh, arms and hands in a matter of moments, that any campers, I don't imagine there's much left of them inside that cave anyhow. Which means we're on the hunt for 2 corpses again.
I will say there's a few supplies that you can scavenge from this camp. So let's say there's a day's worth of food for your gang, and there's surprisingly, let's say 1 fight's worth of ammunition.
Oh,
Because as you're
fun.
taking inventory, right, you're all running low on ammo and money.
Yeah, well, it'll
So
be
the way
nice to
I'm gonna
bring
do
some.
money is it's gonna be some cash, a good amount of cash, and then a lot of cash. So there'll be levels of spending. All of you are at some cash from actually those of you who are gang members previously, you have some cash from your stores in your trunk. But other than that, you got zilch, nothing. The rest of you have nothing.
Well, I wouldn't call Buttercup nothing. And I pat her flank.
Buttercup nuzzles you.
Buttercup the wolf killer. Mm.
Well, I've still got a little cash, but that's I. Oh, here's where I did keep track of it.
Yeah,
Now see, now see, Eustace, if only your equine lover had some cash, now you'd be on to something.
I appreciate you not casting aspersions on my relationship with Buttercup. Keep in mind that her hoof just dispatched one of these hellhounds. More than you can say.
Well, you call it what you like, Eustace.
These wolves, they look quite warped, as if they were twisted by the very land around you.
Yeah, I was wondering whether they're well. It's worth taking their pelts.
Hmm.
Uh,
That's good.
so,
Yep.
somebody in town will pay us something for these hides, weird looking as they are. Don't imagine the meat is wholly untainted, however.
Probably
Ambrose, I would
gamey.
like you to roll an occult.
Four.
Okay, so just looking at these wolves, they've just been tainted, right? And this area, right? Maybe even the entirety of Texas. Eventually, it's on track to become a dead land.
Ugh. Yeah, it was. We really should do something about that. We need to bring hope back to the folks, and I'll look at Eustace.
Well, I lightened the mood in that perdition of a prison camp, so uh, maybe we could spread the word more broadly.
Or if we even deal with this legion down there and then tell more people about this, hell, even break open this conspiracy around the marshal, selling people and taking him down there, and how expose him for what he is, or how he gets his comeuppance, and then reveal the whole package. That could be something to really give people hope because they need it.
When you say deal with Legion, you're not referring to the exchange we have agreed upon, but
No, I
in
think
some.
send it back to the hunting grounds, send it back to wherever it comes from.
Is that how you lost your peeper talking like that?
I lost my peeper by getting on the wrong side of one of the by one of the Devlins.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Hmm.
Well, first we deal with Legion, and then we could talk about dealing with Legion, if you'll take my meaning.
Yes, semantics.
Maybe somebody could explain to me how that's going to have us swimming in cash, giving people hope and all that.
Well, you can only use cash when there's somewhere to spend it.
Hopeful
Oh,
people are
damn.
generous.
That's a great point. You can get a Betty
Wow.
for that.
Ambrose, you are a superb platitudinarian. Thank you for that.
That was pretty good interaction. I'll give you a Benny for that, Jeremiah.
Oh, all right. Take it.
I don't like it when the marshal's generous early on. It bodes ill.
So who got the first one?
You got it
You
first.
did.
Oh, hey, I got it back.
Well, who here is good at skinning varmints?
I'll take a survival roll for whoever wants to do that.
I was born with a proverbial silver spoon in my mouth. I haven't cut apart any animal before in my life.
Not a clue.
I have points in trade. Is that applicable?
I'll buy it.
I just don't want to ruin the property while I take it off the critter, but I don't want poor Buttercup to have to carry these foul things all the way to town.
Um,
Five. Well, 5.
5. Well, okay, excellent. You get a knife out and start skinning the hide, and you roll it up and you place it on Buttercup. This
What-
could get a bit some amount of cash.
What time of year is it?
Ooh, that's a great question. It is the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
The two dire wolves, male and female.
Yep.
I'm climbing into the den now that we've killed the wolves. I have a
Mhm.
suspect that there might be pups in there.
With the Benny, there will be.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want there?
Pups are easier to raise than fully vicious adults.
Can't raise
There might
no
be a
wolf
lot
pups,
more-
Joe.
There might be a bigger market for living dire wolf pups than for the pelts.
Them wolves will turn on you. I'm
I don't
telling
see
you.
anything wrong with this at all. So, yeah, let's
gonna
say there's a
I'm gonna scooch in
D4
there.
wolf cubs. There's 2 wolf cubs
Okay.
in there.
Little
And
boy and a little girl,
they back
maybe.
up and they kind of snarl at you.
Here you
Now,
go.
do you have any kind
Hey,
of
no.
animal handling?
No, let's see. Do I? No, I've got to persuade, but
Oh, you should
uh,
persuade the animals not the one.
what I could do is I could cast a spell
You
to
certainly
make the
can.
animals. Yeah, I think while I'm in there with them, I might have a little bit of food, but
Mhm.
I
yeah,
think
I think
If you'd like to cast a spell, you can obviously deal with the devil. So, what spell are you thinking of casting?
well,
Beast friend.
something that would. What did you say?
Beast friend.
Beast friend.
Okay. So you are currently seasoned. That's a novice rank spell, so you don't take a penalty for a -2 penalty for being like above. So you can go ahead and that roll a gambling roll after paying me a Benny to deal with the
Okay,
devil. Now,
paid.
Beast Friend, it is going to cost you some amount of power points. I believe it's. Do you want to? So this will let you speak with these cubs, and it's going to cost you, let's say, 2 power points. So fairly easy for you to gamble. So why don't you go ahead and make that gambling roll?
Yeah, I'm like this one and this. Oh, wait, six doesn't explode on an eight-sided dice. So
No.
I got a six and I got a five on my wild dice.
Okay, great. So you're 6 and a 5. So that is a standard. So you're just gonna roll. You're gonna draw 5 cards plus one because of that success, in addition to whatever edges give you a benefit. I don't know. I don't exactly remember what you
What does
have.
card sharp do? That's
It just lets you re-roll a gambling roll for free every
okay.
time.
You said 5 cards,
6 cards total.
6 cards total. Okay.
Right. And what's your highest hand?
Oh, well, I got one Joker in here.
Oh, so that counts as a
Wild card.
wild card.
I've got three of a kind, then three fours.
Great. Well, that is going to be a 6 power points. That's in an excess because it's the spell costs 2. So you can either take the 4 right away and recharge your power points, but they can't go above max, so there's no point in doing that. Or you can take the difference and get that as a bonus in your spell casting roll, which you should probably do. So
I'll do that.
there's a difference of 4. So now you're rolling the spell casting roll. You roll that and add the 4.
Okay, spell casting.
And it'd be useful to have this chart out next to you
Okay, I'll find
for
the
the
chart.
future. Yeah.
I got eight. If you're adding
Right,
the three
that's a
points.
raise. So with Beast Friend and a raise, uh, I don't think it does anything better on a raise, but I will give you a small bonus to change their. Uh,
Say that both of them instead of just one of them.
no, you already got both of them, but I will
Okay,
say that their disposition towards you is going to be a little kinder. But
they're gonna trust
yeah.
me, and I'll be their mommy.
So what does this look like when you get your cards out, right? What does this spell look like?
So the puppies are probably staring at me in fear, and I
Right.
get out my cards and I make a deal with the
Oh, the beasts
devil.
are more obedient. Yes. So
Uh,
you take out the cards, you imagine that smoky parlor room in your mind, and there is that big grinning skull across the table from you, and like, you need power again, don't you?
yep.
I have
You want
what
to
you
play?
desire. Ellen, he loves to play. So you play the cards, you gamble a bit of your soul in exchange for power from this demon. And you win, and this feeling, it's almost addictive, right? You're like, wow, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And the skull, the grinning skull, he grants you this power, and you feel it course through the cards, and then the power courses through the cards into the wolves, and the wolves, they snarl, and they stop snarling right in front of you, and they speak to you almost, and you can understand in your mind what they're saying, and they're saying that they're so hungry. And they're saying, "Feed me,"
Yeah, I'll feed you.
and they follow you obediently.
Okay. So I climb back out of the hole
Do you
and
have anything to show for it? They are still hungry.
I will. I mean, I've probably got beef jerky or something in my pocket.
Okay.
Uh,
They gobble it up greedily.
yeah, and I'll
Buttercup is
bundle them.
instantly afraid of these wolves. Use Mr. Barnett and starts to almost kick up.
I will. I'll talk to them like one would talk to puppies. Oh, you're so cute, and all these
Excellent.
good boy and girl. I'll have to come up with names for them, uh, but they're still small, so
Yeah.
they're going to get big. You see,
Yeah.
they're just sweet little puppies.
Are you gonna name
Uh-huh.
them?
Yeah, I got to think of something.
Romulus and
Cerberus,
Remus.
A
Killer.
little too on the nose. Uh,
All
How
right,
do you
well, with
expect
that
to
being
be,
said, you're still, you're seeing this spectacle here.
Joe? How do you expect to be an outlaw with a pack of dogs barking at your heels?
how'd you like to be backed up by a couple of dire wolves that'll rip the throats out of any bad guys that try to bother us?
In a few
Well,
months or years.
that sounds good in principle, but
I think okay. I think I'm going to name them Fang and Aurora,
Okay.
boy and girl.
Ooh, this is great. You're gonna have to keep casting that spell, and the Manitou wants that.
Oh, am I? Because eventually the dogs will just treat me like their master or
Yes,
their
but for
daddy.
now, you'll still have to cast that spell to keep everything in line.
Well, now we gotta keep my friend and your friends as far away from each other as we can, because she done kicked Mama's skull in and doesn't like the smell. Frankly, I don't like the smell of the things either. That's like somebody boiled a fox in shit.
Well, we'll get used. I'll wash them up when we get back.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going
Maybe
to
there
sort
is
of, I
some
guess,
lye soap in the satchel on the back of Buttercup. We can only hope.
at this point, I'll probably fix some sort of blanket sling on my shoulder so that the pups can ride
Okay.
with their little
But before you
heads.
do that, the pups go over to the skinned corpses of their parents. Well, how do you react to this?
Are they going to start nibbling?
I
Hmm.
I
Are they
thought
able to?
I'd had the sense to drag those out of sight
Oh,
before
if
he
you'd
came
like.
out. Yeah, I know.
Sure. I'll buy it.
I didn't think I wasn't sure he'd come out with his face, but if he came out with some puppies, I wouldn't want to confuse them with that sight and smell.
Yes. We are your parents now.
Just drag him into the mesquite somewheres out of sight.
Okay. I'll buy it. Well, what's the plan? You still got a day left.
We
This
got a
was the
day ahead of
morning
us. Well, I
activity.
think we go back to camp, leave these supplies with Mama, who will be mighty pleased to see that we're contributing at last. We can leave the skin somewhere around there to dry out, and then we gotta go corpse hunting somewheres. Maybe we could go into town and get the townsfolk riled up about something and take the leavings.
Or there were those two folks that were supposedly caught on the ranch trying to steal horses. If they've been executed, maybe then we can perform grand theft corpso.
He
Now
didn't
that's
sound like he
thinking.
wanted to kill him. Sounded like he wanted to play with.
Well, if they're dead already, then that makes our life easier.
Him.
And I certainly don't. I don't particularly want blood on my hands, at least freshly spilt stuff. I can deal with congealed, but I don't
This
particularly
will
want
be
fresh.
I imagine Ben Callahan had him strung up by the neck. Maybe he'd appreciate our disposing of the corpses before they make the, get the flies in.
There you go.
Maybe he's going to ask questions.
Well, I'm a
Why we
talker.
want the ball?
We'll say we're anatomical researchers.
Resurrection men. There you go.
okay.
That's a very Call of Cthulhu thing to try to do, but it's
You know the
The,
the penalty for horse thieving or cattle rustling, it's hanging.
Yeah, I don't know if Ben handled it himself or what, but
If he's a man of influence in town, maybe people have looked the other way.
it's a considerable ranch. Yeah, I think they're respectable folks. They just might have had the sheriff to do it somewhere else, or I don't know how the local enforcement goes. But we'll find out. So camp
Well,
first?
if the sheriff does it, that's going to be a problem since he sold us into prisonery.
That's the marshal.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
I
the
see.
Texas Ranger captain.
Yeah, I'm thinking about local law enforcement if there is any.
There is a local sheriff, yes.
Yes, sir.
I imagine the locals, if you catch a horse rustler on your ranch, you're just going to take care of the problem yourself, and nobody's going to say anything about it.
I think that's plumb likely.
But I don't know why I got the damn impression that he was not intending on just killing them. I think he wanted more. He might be vindictive. He might have his own dark mojo that he feeds on. Anyway, we
I,
could always go check.
I think you're
You
giving the
doing any
GM ideas.
you doing anything with those bodies, sir?
Oh, you're welcome to move around. Let me know what you're
Well,
doing.
I'm with what them, so
You're
whatever
heading
they
back to
want to
camp,
do.
right? All
Yeah,
right, so
camp first.
let's adjudicate the camp first. You head back to camp. It's a bit of a walk, and I would say, yeah, Mama's there. She's helping prepare. She's helping Buddy prepare some food for the day using the rice and the beans that you got from the other day, Clank. And she sees the wolf. She's like, Jesus Christ, got three more mouths to feed. And then she also points towards the mule. Uh,
Yeah, but they're useful.
they you got a plan for those wolves, Clank?
Not for a while, but they might make good guard dogs. If we treat them good, then they might just prove to be great assets for our group.
All right. And I will say the magic will hold. Usually it's 10 minutes, but I'm gonna say the magic will hold until this evening.
That's cool.
So twice a day we'll have to cast.
So does that mean that I can talk to them up until
Yeah,
then?
absolutely. Yep.
Okay. It doesn't mean they're going to suddenly be suddenly afraid of me all over again.
No,
Yeah.
but they're more obedient.
Okay. I think that at this point I'm going to I just I just love puppies, so I'm probably
Hungry,
going to spend a
mama,
little
hungry.
time. I'll spend time here. I'll probably get them some scraps and things.
Okay, great. Turn them vegetarian.
Oh, that would be a devil spell.
All right, so you make camp, you drop off the pelts, and you hang them up. Buddy, he helps you, Barnett. And he says, "All right, well, I'll set up a tanning rack, and we can do that. Bring them over here." He folds them up and he strings them out to dry in the sun.
What do you figure we can get in town for these? They're pretty good size.
If you barter, you could get a bit of cash for it. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I heard you got quite the mouth on you.
I've been known to convince a folk or two of what's in their best interests.
But yeah, this is great. And by the size of these pelts, those wolves must have been huge.
It was not a pretty sight, I can assure you.
Hmm. Uh, and then he does this to Cucciarelli. As he gestures.
Yeah, he's gonna need a change of clothes. Well,
Yeah, I
Blinky
got
over
some extra clothes, some spare clothing.
Blinky over there put the flesh back on his bones, but it didn't do nothing for his duds.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get him outfitted. Well,
Work it.
what's your plan for the rest of the day?
Well, we might have some business to do with a ranch not far south of here, the Callahan place. Other than that, I ain't sure. We're entirely aware.
Yeah, well, we're just as the provisioner of this camp here. We're low on ammo, we're low on cash, and we're low on and we're good on food supplies for now, thanks to Clank.
Well, and we did bring back some biscuits, mix, and sundries from the camp we came across.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, you're really good on food.
Well, hopefully,
Uh,
if we manage to get what we need from the for the ranch, then we shouldn't have a problem with the money after that.
yeah, we got a line on a possible source of income, but I wouldn't want to trouble you with the details. Who would like to accompany me to see the Callahans? Not you, Jeremiah.
I'll go. They'll believe it more if there's an Italian there. They'll believe that we're actually buying a corpse.
I'm not sure I entirely follow your logic, but you're more than welcome. And if things should get violent, it'll be useful to have somebody around who can kick up a spell.
Also, Ambrose looks like a doctor.
Oh, also, as I've mentioned, I was kind of born with a silver spoon in my mouth. If these people are somewhat towards the higher end of the societal echelon, then I could be a handy person to have around.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So
Good
we
luck,
got,
Ambrose. You'll be
Ambrose,
working with a troglodyte and a half-wit.
Barnett Ranch, Ambrose Ranch. What about you, Jeremiah? What are you doing? Some more drink in town?
Go back to the bar to crack some heads.
Play with the
You could
puppies.
spend a penny to have someone instigate a fight. I'm not. Just kill him right
No,
then and there.
no, despite my mouth, I'm not actually a fighter. So,
Well, you won. You were the pit champion. You were the final pit champion of Harlingen Rock.
no, I'm gonna stick around camp and talk to Mama and Buddy and just kind of,
Okay.
yeah, I'll let the other guys do their thing for now.
Great. Okay.
And for now,
Sounds
I'm
great.
sticking with the puppies.
Yeah, all right. Camp puppies. What about you, Bongiorno? You know, you're dressed in new clothing. It's these wolf bites, they're definitely gonna scar.
Yeah, I was planning on going with Eustace, especially since
Okay.
I have a fear of dogs now, so I'm not entirely supportive of the activity going on in the camp.
Okay. So this is what's gonna happen. You're heading to the ranch. Some of you going to camp. Okay, great. So you're at camp. You're talking to Mama Jeremiah Jones, and you see that she has a local map of the area, and she's talking to Eligio. Meanwhile, the Callahan brothers, they're on post, they're on guard, on watch,
I'm gonna
just a
take a
little
look at
outside
that.
camp.
I'm gonna take a look at that map and see what I can see.
Great. Did you see that? She's like, oh, Jeremiah, just the man I needed. Look, things are getting pretty desperate, and I'm planning just like a wagon robbery.
You want to
So
rob a wagon, like
yeah, yeah,
a banker's
I
wagon?
right, or anything. I know there's a general store. They are getting a shipment tomorrow, and I figure we devise a plan to hold them up and take everything they got. Yes, the Townsend brothers are part of the camp gang.
All right, all right. Of
You in? We could use an
course,
extra hand.
course, I'm in.
Okay, wagon heist. All right. So they get their deliveries a little earlier in the morning. So I say we post up on the road there, um, and just do whatever it takes. Hold them up. Now it'd be easier if there's no bloodshed, but whatever happens, happens. We mask up, bandana on, hold them up, take everything. We'll probably need Eustace's mule to help load up, or we can just take the horses too. Actually, we can take the wagon. Yeah, hog tie him. Should be. I want it quick. I want it simple.
Speaking of
All
which, I
right.
got to get the horse back to the town.
Yes. So if you'd like, you can do that, Clank.
Yeah, I'll tie up the dogs and dry. I'll take the dogs with me. I'll pack them like I did before and take them with the horse.
Okay.
I'll study the map and see if I can find a good location for an ambush.
Yeah. I believe there's a trait called. Is it battle? Yeah. Battle is strategy and tactics. You're welcome to roll that for an advantage.
Strategy and tactics. Uh,
I
how
don't.
do
You
I
might
do
not
that?
have battle.
I don't think I do.
Oh, I
Mm,
will take some kind of. Is there a criminal roll?
I
I don't
have
know if that.
thievery.
Yeah, you can roll thievery. Sure.
Okay.
This is thievery if I ever heard of it.
It's a 9.
Oh, great. So you're like, just examining the map. You also ride out onto the road just to get eyes on it. It's better to get eyes on it. And you see a nice alcove on a elevated portion of the land between some shrubs that everyone can hide in. On both sides of the road too, right? So one person goes out, aims a gun or whatever. Um, there might be armed guards, but that's where the people in cover and ambush can come in.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Then I will point that out as a
All
likely
right, so
location.
you will get an advantage. I'm gonna say for the next, if there is a combat or some kind of altercation, I'm gonna give you some extra cards to draw, so and you can take the
Okay.
higher of the three.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, Clank, you're riding back into town to return the horse, or are you staying
Yes,
at camp with the
correct.
dogs? Okay, so in that case,
I've fashioned myself a little thing so the
are you
dogs can
taking the
ride with
puppies
me.
with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the puppies with me.
Okay, sounds good.
And
Let me
maybe
think.
somebody will fall in love with one of them and then I'll let them have the puppy. But
Yeah, maybe a lunatic. So, Jeremiah, you're planning this heist with Mama.
Hmm.
You also know that like some of these other gang members, they're planning and everyone's contributing to the gang. That's just how it works, to the pool, which is good.
Everyone that's present.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's after the planning, Eligio, he's gonna get a game of dominoes going, so you're welcome to join that for
I'll
the
join that
afternoon. All right.
for sure.
All right, so let's go to heading towards the ranch, right? You're heading towards the Callahan Ranch, and I would say that you do pass by Oleander's occultist wagon again. So you're
Yeah,
welcome to stop by should you wish.
I think it might be worthwhile to ask the feller if he's ever met Legion or knows anything about it, them or it,
Mhm.
they, it, whatever.
I
The
think it
many.
was multiple things. So
I think it was. It spoke like, yeah, a chorus from Chorus of Devils.
Okay. Excellent. So you're just gonna knock on his wagon and he says, "Oh, come in, come in."
Introductions.
All
It's,
right, so you introduce Von Journo and I mean he already met Ambrose,
Yeah,
right?
we've already met.
yeah.
Yeah. So he says, "Oh, come in. I was just starting on this platter of fine cheeses." And you can see that he has like a curved ritual dagger. And this is definitely like a legit thing, Ambrose, and he's just using it to eat cheese.
Uh, is there? I can't remember if there's kind of an insight type role here to see if is he doing this out of that he doesn't know what he's doing or some kind of flippancy.
He is most likely doing it out of spite. You don't know
Against,
what his game is, but
but he knows what he's doing. He's not doing this out of being a moron.
yep.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, he's got his feet kicked up and he's having fine cheeses with a curved dagger. You can see that it's not as warm inside here anymore.
The Wendigo heart not
Yeah,
not charged up.
I've been having problems with the air conditioning. I do need a replacement for the this Wendigo heart. Luckily enough, I did do some dowsing rods so earlier today, and they pointed in the direction of the northeast.
Hmm. Without a
That's
map to refer to, what's in that direction from here?
Um, Apparently, funnily enough, he says there's a Wendigo in the area, and you kind of do a mental calculations of like where northeast is, and like that definitely is in the direction of Hunting Rock.
Hmm.
But yeah, if gentlemen, you look like the adventuring types, and if you're able to, and he strokes his mustache, if you're able to get me a Wendigo heart, I'd be willing to part with some magical artifacts, as well as helping you out with once you get me the gloves.
Hmm.
well, sir. You certainly do drop a bargain here and there. Um,
I mean, you look crafty enough to take on a Wendigo. I will say that those of you with the cult, you may roll that.
I was about to ask because yeah, know thine enemy would be rather helpful right now. Ugh. Have a Benny.
I'll take a Benny. Bam! I have 4 bennies now. This is delicious. These are great. I
That's
can't wait to
that's
spend these
better.
at the company store.
7 total.
7 total. You know that Wendigos, they are fearsome creatures. They tower. You've heard stories of them towering 8, 9 feet tall. The skulls of just bucks and teeth to match. There is one way to instantly kill a Wendigo. And as you're thinking of this, because so you know this information, Oleander also says, it's a bit tricky, but you can kill a Wendigo by pouring hot tallow down his throat instantly.
And
And
that
you
matches up.
confirm that as well.
Right. Oh, so again, he does know what he's talking about. Okay.
He does, yeah.
Hmm.
But obviously you're gonna have to get it in that situation.
Yeah, I'll just ask Jojo to talk to it nicely and hold its mouth open, and yeah.
And you're gonna have to boil the tallow, probably through magic, which I would allow with the spellcasting roll. So yeah, if you happen to find a Wendigo heart, I'd help you out. And he
we
has another cube of cheese. Oh, and he offers, of course. He's poor.
I sniff a proper French camembert and wince in distaste.
They like eating people, those Wendigos. Fresher the better.
There's a lot of that going around of late.
No, the penny kind of drops, and I look to Eustace. Fresh bodies.
I mean, do you think the thing we spoke to is the Wendigo?
No, it might be that's where we can go get some.
Oh, it, but it eats them. Don't it eat
Yeah,
them?
but yeah, it eats them, but it won't if it hasn't eaten them all. If it likes them fresh, if we go up there, we find it before it's eaten them.
And they'd be refrigerated, I suppose. If just as hard, it'll cool down the whole cabin. wagon. Well, I
Well,
mean, yeah,
we'd need to remove the heart, and it's not just as simple as kind of cutting it up. There's stuff you'd have to do, and looking to Ollivander saying, yeah, you'd know what to do with it when you've got it. So we're
Yeah,
going to need
he's
to,
got it like a metal box. He kind of opens it up, and there's like a Wendigo's heart just kind of twitching.
yeah, we're going to need to drag that body all the way back here for him to be able to then do what he needs to do to it.
I just need the heart, to be frank. I got my components right in this wagon.
Oh, so that won't interfere with whatever right you need to do.
No.
But it also solves us then maybe having to deal with the situation of otherwise sourcing materials,
Local occultist needs his air conditioning fixed.
and it gets us our two pieces of raw meat in exchange, hopefully.
Can
well,
they
they
talk?
both,
Wendigos? Probably. They've been known to have voices, carry on the wind, or I'm sure that this malign entity can surely talk. It was once human, of course.
Do they not like the light?
Mm, they prefer to stick to the dark, yeah.
So it could be that the Wendigo is the demon that we're dealing with.
well,
Wait,
Oleander,
you're talking to demons?
yeah, one of the things, one of the reasons we stopped by again was not only for the pleasure of your company and your aromatic cow bits, but I was curious if you were familiar with the character. It calls itself or themself Legion.
Oh, that's a biblical quote. Mark 5:9.
Mhm.
But demons, I call them Manitou, because that's the true name for them. They're tricky.
Yeah, I done got
They're real
myself into an
tricky.
arrangement with one or
It might
several.
not be a demon. Maybe it's just trying to scare you.
It did that real good. It seemed to manipulate all kinds of limbs and faces and whatnot, and it's moved into the place we got out of, or it came up to that place. I don't know if it's related
Yeah,
to
it
the blood
moved in.
tornator.
Yeah.
Pay no
Any,
attention to the spirit behind the curtain. Hmm.
anyhow, if all you know about it is that it may or may not be a demon, and it may or may not be in the good book, we're attempting to negotiate a deal with it.
Well,
So
what
we'll
does it
be.
want?
It wants a couple of fresh human corpses,
Yeah.
as you do.
Well, there's a lot of things out there in the world that like fresh human corpses. Bogeymen, they like children, so can't be that. How about ghouls? Ghouls like fresh corpses, but so do Wendigo.
I'll have the impression that ghouls were rather cravenly creatures, whereas this thing spoke with a rather commanding tone.
I would have to see it myself, but also I've hired some of these you brave adventurers to do it.
Hired is an interesting term.
It's there, it's not there. Some other adventurer will come along if you don't get this benefit.
I'd
Uh,
definitely put it out to folks saying that this is a potential way to solve all of our issues if our other line of inquiry doesn't go anywhere.
yeah, and it's in the same general direction, but we might as well push on to the Callahan's place and see if we can be done with it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
do
it's
take
also
care.
it's also ridding the area of a problem that needs to be got rid of.
You have a considerable goody two shoes side to you, which might interfere with our general profiteering.
I like to hope that my morals may nudge people in the right direction. You never know.
Yeah, I suppose it's better than the whole of Texas turning into some vast wasteland of evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Oleander, he starts fanning himself with a fan from like the east, and he says, "Well, uh, do enjoy the rest of the day. It's
We'll
quite
be
hot this summer."
we'll be seeing you.
Excellent. So you head on to Callahan Ranch. Let's go over to Clank as you ride into town. You're returning the horse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, you see the general store, Adam's General Store. You see, Hickman's stables. You rented Dust, the horse from Jim. There's the saloon, there's the bank. You ride past the ranch. There's people working out in the cattle fields, just leading the cattle to and from. Once again, there's a church, as well as the lawman's office, the sheriff's office. And there's a few bounties posted, like wanted, dead or alive.
So before we actually arrive in town, I'm talking to the puppies all the way
Okay. What are
and
you saying to them?
um just telling them that they're good babies and
I will allow you a persuade roll.
okay. Just because they were born bad doesn't mean that they're wait, what am I doing? I'm rolling like for Call of Cthulhu.
D100.
Oh, one of them explodes. Okay, so that's 6, 6, 5, and 5 on the wild dice. So 12,
Yeah,
17.
only one die gets added. They both don't get
Yeah,
added. But the explosions add. So yeah, you got a couple raises. So yeah, they say, there's so many different smells, Mama.
I'm like, yeah, take it
Actually,
all
I'll
in.
call you Papa because there's already a Mama. I don't want it to
Yeah,
get
it makes
confusing.
sense. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, there's so many different smells, Papa.
And
Hungry. But you
yeah, they're
teach
always
them the
hungry.
value of the virtues of patience.
And
People
and
are kind
I'll
of, you're on the outside of
observation.
town,
Yeah.
but the people passing by you, they kind of turn their head a little. And you're like, what's this lunatic doing?
I'm trying to develop a bond between myself and the dogs
Okay. They give
just
you a wide
because
berth, these passerbyers,
yeah.
but you definitely think a bond can be formed. It's just going to take days
Yeah. I imagine though that
and
these don't
mutual
look
trust.
much more than puppies, big puppies,
They look
as if I
weird.
had, yeah. Uh,
Ooh, you know what? We're gonna tie the corruption of these dire wolves to the fear level, so that gives you incentive.
so I'm actually raising the fear level.
No, not quite. But they do look more monstrous than dog-like at the moment. But should hope be restored in this large area, they will look more like puppies.
Okay.
So that's up to you. And I'm sure
So,
Ambrose can tell you, like, if there's a link to the taint and the land. So you ride into town.
and with the
I'm gonna
with the
say with your
spell in effect,
raise. Oh, sorry. I'm with the raise. You're not gonna have issues with the dogs in town.
okay. Well, I was going to say with the spell still in effect,
Hmm.
I can tell them to stay and they'll stay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think I'll do two things. I'll go straight back to the stable
Okay.
and I'll return Dust.
Oh, you're a man of your word.
Of course, yeah. And I mean, we may be in need of some horses later. So, uh,
I've got it on good authority that you're a good customer, so I'd be inclined to help you out there.
well, I'll see what I can do too. So, thank you very much for the use of your horse.
Of
And
course.
then the
And
second
you
thing
gave
I'm
him
going to
your
do
name,
is
right? Or
I don't remember if I gave him a fake name or not, but that's good that I don't remember because then I'm kind of like, oh crap.
so yeah,
Uh,
what did you what?
I'll tell him he can call me Clank
All
because
right.
that
All
wouldn't
right,
be written
Clank.
down. Uh, and then I'm going to head over to the bar where people are gambling.
All right. Boom. Saloon doors fly open. Um, I would say this is a great dual scene here where you're not quite exiled yet because you've taken everyone's money. So maybe you got a few more gambling hands before people get pissed off at you. But I think this is a great dual scene, split scene where we have both Joe, you can roll gambling as you buy in, right? And
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you can also roll gambling as you're playing dominoes with Eligio.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna zoom in on Jeremiah here, and Eligio says, "Mr. Jones, good to play with you as always. Um, man, that was a really hairy situation at the prison.
Sure
I'm gl
was.
I'm glad we're out of it. Uh, what do you think you're gonna do? Are you always gonna be with the gang, or do you want to retire someday?"
I'm gonna retire rich.
I believe it, Mr. Jones. I believe it. What'd you roll for gambling?
Well, I don't actually have gambling.
So if you are rolling skillless, I believe that's a what, a D4 and a D6 minus two.
Okay. Okay.
The D4 is the -2 bit.
Yeah, and the D6 is flat, right? Or is it
Okay,
also
so
minus two?
I
I
think
rolled
I think both of them are. The
Okay.
D4 -2 applies to the -2 is on both
Yeah,
both
okay.
dice.
So
Yeah.
you would
on the
roll your
D
wild die and a D4, and then the
on the
total.
D4 I rolled a 4
Oh,
and it
nice. That
exploded.
explodes.
So it got a 7, so -2 is a 5.
So you succeed.
And on the D6 I got a 4.
Nice. Okay. So if that's the case, yeah, you win the game of dominoes, and Eligio, he forks what little cash over he has to you. He says, oh, good one, Mr. Jones. I didn't see that one. Good
Yep.
strategy.
Anytime you dingleberries want to lose money, just come
So
on
you can
by.
add some cash to yourself, so you probably get to the next tier. You get to a bit of cash.
All right.
And meanwhile, Joe, you're at a high stakes poker tournament. You can see one of the Callahans and there, Ben Callahan. He's like, "Oh, I've been looking for you. I've been waiting for a chance to win my money back. I'm so excited to be here."
Well, that would be nice. I've spent some of your money. Quite
Oh,
honestly, I was a little low on cash, so I was kind of lucky last time. But yeah, I'll give you the opportunity.
okay.
So gambling roll, you said?
Yeah.
Well, I got a 5. So
All right, he's gonna roll. Is he a wild card? Yeah, I'd say so. I will spend a Benny to re-roll in order to get higher than
oh well then I could do the same. I don't have
you.
to
You
spend the
can do.
penny because
Yes, you can do it for free. I'll spend another Benny.
I got an 8
You got an
and a
eight?
2. Yeah.
All right.
An
Well,
8 and a
you
well, I got an 8 and a 2 because it exploded.
great. So you got a
10.
raise. So and he only got a standard success. So you sweep again and you play like five, six hands until you basically clean them out. So you can raise your cash to the second tier, a bit of cash.
Okay.
He says, "All
No
right,
hard feelings.
no more gambling for me. My wife's gonna kill me."
Same time tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I think you kind of ate up my gambling money for the month. And like all the other people are like, "Yeah, we're done
Well,
playing."
sorry about that.
And they all get up and sit at the bar.
Uh
So yeah, you cleaned them out.
I'll drink a little and then I'll chit chat a little and then I'll leave. 'Cause
All right.
I gotta walk
Meanwhile,
back. I gotta walk back.
yes. Meanwhile, we got the three, Bongiorno, Ambrose, and Barnett. You're actually heading to the ranch after your stop at the occultist wagon, and you can see the gates open at the front to welcome people in. And there's a couple buildings. It's like I would say there's maybe three buildings. There's that main building. There's a barn. There's also like a large workshop slash shed
It's stable, I imagine.
stable. Yeah.
Could be dual purpose. Uh, do we see field hands about?
Yes, yes, you do.
And how nice is the homestead itself?
It's fairly sizable. Like it looks like they've employed maybe about five field hands. So it's a moderate, not exactly super luxurious, but they're getting by.
Yeah, that's a reasonably large staff. They must be doing all right. Uh, let's what do you say we talk to the help first before we go and speak to the owners? I find the help is often informationally replete.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So
That sounds
I'll
like a plan.
I'll walk Buttercup over to wherever somebody's doing something useful if it ain't too far in. Don't want to trespass exactly. And is there happen to be a willow tree with a couple of corpses hanging off it anywhere I see?
No, no, there's no, nothing like that.
Howdy, partner. Hot
Uh,
day for it.
hey, how are you? Can I help you, sir? And it's a farm hand. He's got a straw hat on. He's tanned. His skin is very tanned, like he's been out in the sun all day. Um, and he kind of looks at you with a little suspicion. He's kind of guarded, and he's like, "What brings you out to the Callahan Ranch? You looking to buy some cattle?"
Oh, no, sir. We're traveling through town on our way south.
No. A lot of
Uh,
people have been traveling through Wagon Stop these days.
well, that's probably good news, right, for a town of this size?
Yeah.
I heard tell my associate of mine was in Wagon Stop yesterday and heard you had some wrestling problems.
Oh yeah, yeah. We caught two people. And we dropped them off to Sheriff Kane.
I see. Yeah, we were curious about the disposition. They been hanged yet?
I wouldn't know about that, but I assure you, Kane's probably giving them due process, lawyer, and all that.
Oh, real civilized place, Wagon Stop. It's good to
Well, we
see.
we try to be in this in these chaotic times.
Yeah. Them folks was they escaped prisoners, do you imagine?
Um, I did notice that they had some odd brands on them when we were hog tying them and grabbing them from they like one of their shirts ripped, and I did notice an odd symbol.
Yeah,
Yeah, they look real desperate, afraid even.
there's been some bad business afoot. We
Apparently,
might want to.
they were trying to get some horses, and they said they were trying to just flee as far as they can.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a darn good thing you
Yeah,
catched them.
yeah. Why
Uh,
do you think they would do that? I've never seen people so scared.
well,
This was probably at maybe 2 a.m. We caught them.
yeah, you know that penal institution of sorts, northeast of here. There
Yeah,
was
I think I'm familiar with that.
and this is where I think I'm gonna, since we don't get no bodies out of it, I think I'm gonna go to tale-teller mode and just
Okay.
tell them there seems to be some sort of almighty battle between forces of good and evil in that place. Turns out it weren't no penal institution at all, but run by some lunatic cult demon worshiper, full of Manitou. But thankfully, much was set to rights. And it's just we believe the beginning of a process of cleaning up this territory.
Okay. So you can give me a persuasion or performance, and you can add a two to this.
Where's my? Oh, there it is. I'm not satisfied with a five. I'm going to toss you a Benny.
Okay. I'll take your Benny.
There's
Two.
a six that re-rolls to a four, so 10. That's
10.
more
All
like
right,
it.
great. So you actually do lower the fear level.
We'll leave the Callahans happier folks than we found them.
So let me see. The fear level. Blah, blah, blah. With the success, the local fear level is reduced by 1. And I don't think there's anything with a raise. So you do lower. Oh, and he says, is that so? That's quite a story you're telling here. So
Feel
I
free to
am
spread
going
it
to
around,
lower the fear level from 4 to 3. It was raised in the meantime because of certain events and actions that have happened. So it's always going to be a constant battle.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
yes, spread the good word. Finer days are coming to this area,
but
and
that was quite the tale you told. It gives me hope that there's heroes out there that are gonna put the wrongs to rights. But you're saying there was a prison escape?
the whole place practically blew up. But they probably were escapees from
I
this.
gotta tell Henry, the owner, about this. That's probably explains the roughnecks.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out with a posse at night though, as things have yet to settle down entirely.
Yeah. Uh, it's strange because at night I've been hearing gunshots and screams in the wind. So it's real chaotic times.
Probably nothing.
Well, would you do you need anything in particular or?
Well, again, I was curious about the disposition of the wrestlers that came by here, and now we know that Sheriff Kane has things in hand.
Well, if you need me, I'll be here. I'm off in the evenings and I'll be at the saloon. But my name's Earl Reese.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Reeves. Eustace Barnett here,
Right.
and we'll be on our way. Stay cool now.
I'll try. And he sticks some tobacco in his mouth. He continues to brush some cattle.
Well, when we hit the trail, I'm gonna consider with Ambrose and Bongiorno a minute. I think if we're going to attack a Wendigo, we probably want to be in full complement. That
Oh,
seems more
yes.
like a 10-person job than a 3-person job.
Yeah, this is definitely a group. Better, more numbers the better. But also tallow. We need to go and find some of that.
I'm sure
Yeah, you could most likely get beef tallow at Adam's General Store,
Mhm.
or you could make it yourself.
we could render down some cattle, but then we'd have to have cattle. Nobody's laying
Candle
a hand
shop.
on Buttercup.
And the facilities
Actually,
to
they
do that.
might be selling it at the
Candle
ranch.
shop.
Well,
No,
yeah,
at the ranch.
Oh, yeah.
we're there. Ask them.
And Earl, you go to Earl again, and
Mhm.
she says, "Yeah, why don't you talk to Miss Dorothy Callahan? She's in the main building, and she'll be able to set you up with some tallow."
Mhm.
And you go in, and there's a nice looking woman in a dress, sundress for the summer weather, and she introduces herself as Dorothy. She is excited to have customers such as you here.
Such as we are. Uh, uh, we're at a traveling itinerant uh, gentleman moving from north to south,
Mhm.
and we're staying outside Wagon Stop for a spell. And our cook's done uh, cook. People eat tallow, or they just make candles out of it.
It's actually used as a skin cream as well in modern day, but
If you want to smell like a hot lunch.
yeah, you can. It's used like it's a fat, so you can fry stuff in it.
Anyway,
Some
our
real working.
quartermaster sent us out for a barrel of tallow.
All right, how much tallow do you need? She's got a few like cans of it or jars of it. It's
Ambrose,
like
what?
congealed fat and
How much realistically do we think we might need for this?
probably just a jar full, right? But like you need to heat it up to boiling, which you can do with magic most likely.
Gotcha.
With a voodooist of your caliber, yeah, you can do that. But
We need
yeah,
to
like
get.
you wouldn't need a barrel, right? But
No, but every
a
time we
couple jars
miss,
wouldn't
yeah,
hurt.
yeah,
Yeah, you certainly don't want to run out of ammunition.
I'd say at least three.
Yeah.
That's a magic number.
All you need is one, but who knows what would happen. So probably good to prepare. And I would say that this is a relatively insignificant expense, so you don't have to reduce the cash level by one.
Good stuff.
And she sells you some beef tallow, and you get up to like three.
There you go. Three times the charm.
Yep. Put them in Buttercup's
Saddle. Oh,
saddle. Yeah,
yeah.
satchel. Uh, we suppose we ought to meet up with the others in town and drag them all up north for the.
Yeah, at this time it's the afternoon.
You can see whether Clank's got himself in trouble with the locals. Nobody likes anybody who's lucky all the time.
Yeah.
Also, if there are some wanted posters, we could potentially get two bounties and just get the bounty of the safe with them instead of the legal bounty.
Still brings you into contact with the law, and the last thing they want is an excuse for them to notice something or go, "Hang on a minute, you look mighty familiar, didn't I? See you passing through the local marshal."
Yeah, we wouldn't be giving them to the town though. We would just be using the warrant in order to
Just straight
not
up
be
kill
looked
someone.
not be looked askance at carrying two bodies across the desert. You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, you would have to give the bodies to the sheriff, and if you were to take the bodies, he'd probably charge you for their unnatural acts, which is punishable by hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling if we were to go to the local post office and look at the wanted posters, we might be looking in a mirror.
Uh-oh. That'd be funny.
No, no, it wouldn't be.
At least two out of the three of us are notably distinct in appearance.
Look, I was framed
Doesn't matter.
for a crime I committed.
Funnily enough, I mean, it was in exactly the same boat.
Town or camp, gentlemen?
I would advocate the cat of the back to the camp because everyone's going to have to meet up there eventually anyway. And we'll probably want to get everyone else there to then go up to the Wendigoville.
Go up to
And
our
then
next
police.
enormous mistake in judgment.
Yep.
Yep, I'm getting mighty peckish too. It's that sort of day.
Hmm.
Yep.
I got to get my macros.
That Italian? Oh yeah, that's it. The little noodles you all eat. Macroninis.
I'll give you a Betty for that,
Sure.
Eustace.
Thank you.
This is goofy. All right, so you're all heading towards
Back to camp.
back to camp. Joe, are you staying in town?
I did some more purchases of food, a little bit of extra meat for our dogs, and
I will say
I'm
that will
walking,
cost you one tier of cash.
and then I'm walking back to
Okay,
town.
you got it.
So I do have a question though. When you say tier of cash, I don't quite understand.
Yeah, so you've got the first tier of cash from, having being already established with the gang. So this is cash you already had in your lock box. And then the second tier you got from gambling, right?
Yesterday, yeah,
Yesterday, but you spent that for food.
I
So
then
now you're
spent
back
it.
at tier one. But then you gained more cash from gambling today, and then you just spent it. So now you're at
Okay,
first tier
so
of
that's the
cash.
way we calculate. We don't keep track of
Yeah, I'm not going to worry.
Gold
It's
coins
easier
in.
to abstract
All
it.
right. So I spent the cash that I won, and then I'm on the way back.
All right. So like you're excellent in terms of camp supplies, but you're all pretty short on like ammo and money.
Okay. Um, Guns are probably pretty expensive, aren't they? I've got a gun
Yeah,
though already.
it
Yeah.
costs you
So
a some bit of cash, one tier of cash.
then, if we've got plenty of food, then maybe what I'll do is I'll buy some rounds of ammo
Okay,
for our
great.
guns
You can definitely do that.
and some meat for the dogs. All right. Cool. And then we're walking back.
All right, so food levels are great, money's low, bullets are good. So maybe 2 or 3 fights.
I also bought 2 leashes. So
Yeah, that's work. So you stop by Adam's General Store. Adam, he's got a bit of a cowlick in his. He's got brunette hair. He's wearing that apron for the general store, that general store people usually wear. And he's like, "Oh, well, we got 2 collars for the dogs right here for you." And
cool.
cash is exchanged, items exchanged, and he bids you farewell. He seems like a decent person.
So I'm on my way back.
Yeah. But you know that once you share plans, Jeremiah and Mama, they're gonna be robbing him tomorrow. All right, so you all meet back at the camp. It is late afternoon. Nighttime will approach.
Well, do we have time to fight a Wendigo? Probably not.
Uh, Probably.
Also, if we head up there during the day, if they don't like the daylight, then that gives us an advantage.
Have tallow will travel, they say.
Except we might
So,
not be able to find them if they're hidden during the day.
There's only so many places they can hide up there.
Joe, Jeremiah, the weird feller in the fancy carriage, wants us to go, and we keep getting into strange bargains with peculiar people in this county. I tell you, it's odd territory. He wants us to. Why don't you tell them what a Wendigo is, Ambrose?
Originally a person, one that's engaged in cannibalism and has been warped by the spirits out there to become this inhuman thing, many feet taller than what it was. Imagine if it's been put in a rack and stretched, long arms, claws, teeth, horrific thing. We need to get its mouth open and get tallow down its gullet, and that'll kill it in one go. Otherwise, it's a pretty tough hombre to take down.
Oh,
Oh, is that all? How'd you two dinglings get yourselves into this deal?
Because unfortunately, the local law enforcement has the bodies we need.
Jesus.
How
So
did
that's
you?
2 deals. That's 2 deals with demons in as much as 24 hours?
And you spent your afternoon very productively, I see. You've got some very serious domino calluses. Thank you for your contribution.
Goddamn right. Prefer to go to that local watering hole and get myself some more whiskey.
Well, luckily, your associate Joe was once again made himself popular among the native population by fleecing them. But he
and a
could
bunch
probably,
of ammo. So
that's a useful thing.
These things
So,
never run out of ammo.
That's true.
well, they
Bonjoro
did
does not need ammo.
they did run out of ammo when they had direwolves clamped to them.
That's true.
Stripped the ammo right off along with the tendons and musculature.
good
So
babies. Such a good puppies.
Yeah.
let's rustle up a quick meal and head north to find a formerly human giant cannibal. And maybe he'll have some leftovers we can take to our other unfortunate associate.
Okay, great. So you're gonna ride out to Hunting Rock. Are you going to bring any other members of the gang with you?
I feel the Townsend brothers are probably could use some or could be useful in a fight, and also they might think of us as less wildly eccentric when they see some of this nonsense themselves.
Does have a tendency to make people believers.
Okay. So yeah, the Townsend brothers, they're currently on guard at the camp. And you can see both of them like sharing a cigarette as they're keeping watch, and you hail them, and you're like, "What's up?"
So,
Well,
quick
now,
question. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
Okay, so just to clarify, how many PowerPoints do I have, and how are they recovered?
You start with 10, you recover 5 every day, I believe. Normally you can spend a Benny to instantly get 5, but you are a special spellcaster, so you're a huckster. So you have to deal with the devil to recover them instantly or with your cards.
I see.
But if you have
So,
power points, right, there should be 2 or 3 spells that you should like be able to cast without using the cards, and that comes from the PowerPoint pool.
well, I was going by what you said. I think I need to recast Best Beast Friend,
All right, so
so I
go
can
ahead.
I can tell the puppies to stay here.
Yeah, so you don't have that spell like in your spell list. So go ahead and deal with the devil. So basically make a
Okay.
gambling roll. Yeah, for powers that you don't normally have, right, you have to deal with the devil.
Okay. Let's see.
But you can always pick it up with the new power edge as an
Yes,
advance and
that's
then
true.
buy it normally.
He's waiting for the fumble. Your soul is mine.
I got a 6 again.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's the
So
six. That's a 6 on a an 8-sided dice. So yeah.
so you can go ahead and draw 6 cards total.
Okay. Let's mix them up. Good. All right. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's see what we got. Got 2 kings. 2 kings.
2 kings, that's a pair. It should be 2 power points to cast that. I know a pair is what, at least 2, so you can go ahead and roll spell casting.
And I
Page
got a 6
65. Oh, so you're
and
good.
another 6 and a 5. But that's the same as last time.
All right, so
6, 6,
that's
5.
you pass. The pair was 3 power points, so you would have gotten a +1 on top of that.
Okay.
So if that's the case, you cast that spell again. These dogs, Fang and Aurora, they've actually learned to respond to those names now. So you tell them to sit still at camp.
Stay here.
Yeah,
Be good.
yeah. Buddy he comes up to you and says, "We're not gonna have issues with that, right? These puppies."
I don't think so. They'll only bark if they sense something is coming that
Okay.
they don't like.
I've heard of children being raised by wolves, but not
Wolves
wolves
raised by
raising children.
humans.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Well, we're gonna try it.
All right. Well, good luck out there. So you're gonna bring the Callahan brothers, and they're gonna say,
Townsend brothers.
sorry, yeah, the Townsend brothers. You're right. Have a Benny, please.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, Townsend brothers. Well, and they say, well, what's the job?
Cleaning out some monsters, one in particular.
Okay, should be easy. Hopefully, we'll be back by dinner.
Hmm.
And you can see that they're both armed with lever action rifles. The payout better be good for us.
Oh, if we get this thing taken down and if it's got some fresh corpses up there, there'll be plenty of money going around.
Great. So you approach Hunting Rock. You've been back here a couple times already, but you can't get that feeling of not wanting to be here at all because of your history, your memories with this place. The sun is just lingering in the air. The sky is a bit orange. It will be nighttime, maybe in 1 or 2 hours, but you're here at the camp at that beginning tunnel with the gate propped up against the entrance, barely making a barricade that you've pushed aside. There's something in this tunnel, this long tunnel about 30 feet deep.
Now, Ambrose, do you get the sense that because of the unholy nature of what went on in this here establishment, that it's now attracting other kinds of beasties to it?
Oh, it'll definitely be like a moth to a flame, yeah.
So it's not peculiar that a Wendigo moved in here, in addition to our multiple friends in the tunnels below.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but then I'm wondering if they're one and the same, potentially. Because the Wendigo wants fresh bodies. This Legion wants fresh bodies. What if it is a Wendigo that's down there that's decided to try and make itself or throw its voice and make it appear like it's this many-headed thing down there?
Well, we could always just crack open the basement
and find out. Because also, this thing didn't like the light when we went there last time.
yeah.
The more I'm thinking on it, the more I'm thinking it is just a Wendigo that's down there.
Why
Well,
would the Wendigo pretend to be a demon and
Well,
not
it didn't
just
want
give
us to
us his name?
It didn't want us to open the door down to the basement, so it tried to scare us off.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
well, you know more about these matters by far than I do. I'm a simple dealer in generally speaking, very mildly potent lotions, salves, and tinctures.
Buttercup is afraid.
Oh, I don't think we're taking Buttercup inside this at all. No, no.
Okay.
We'll find her
Leave her outside.
a patch of
Even
reasonably.
even the Townsend brothers are kind of on edge when they're approaching this place. Like, yeah.
Well, do we want to leave one of the Townsend brothers with Buttercup outside? Because I'd hate to leave the poor horse on its own. You don't know what might happen to it.
Well, she's a mule, although I appreciate the upgrade. I'm sure she does as well, don't you,
If you
Buttercup?
believe Buttercup says, I want to be a horse someday.
You're going to be a real horse, boy.
That'd be an interesting character arc. Buttercup becomes like a white stallion. Quite possible with magic.
Well, isn't there the edge? Behold a pale horse. The
Yeah.
Buttercup could indeed become this legendary stallion.
She is a brave girl, that's for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, but we're not taking her inside. Find her a patch of sweet grass and
Yeah, one of the Townsend brothers, he says, we can set up a Overwatch spot there. I'll whistle if I hear anything.
all right then. One human and one quadruped depleted.
All
You
right,
figure
so
we'll
let's
just
say Pete Townsend, he's gonna watch the horse,
You'd be a
and
great
then
musician.
Kyle
Today.
Townsend is us. He's gonna come with you. I don't like working without my brother, but all right, it's bad luck. Bad luck.
Oh, nonsense. There ain't nothing to fear in there except some sort of giant human-eating monster and possibly a passel of devils.
Yeah, Kyle Townsend, the Townsend brothers, both of them, they don't usually like break, but you can see him visibly gulp.
Let Buongiorno go first.
I'll go first. I'm
Okay.
fine with getting my ass kicked again.
Well, the blood smell might really be attractive to whatever it is.
So, Ambrose, you figure we just go right down into the pit and open the door and ignore whatever the dang thing says?
Yeah, don't give it chance to react. Just go straight in.
I'll carry a can of Taller, you carry one, we'll give one to Clank. How's your throwing arm, Clank?
My throwing arm, that's athletics. My athletics are a four-sided dice. Not very good.
An interesting metaphor. How about you, Mouth? You
Well, I
got
am a
throwing
gambling
arm?
man.
You were the champion of the pit after all. Can you wing a can of hot fat into a monster's maw? I can't
Oh,
hear
boy.
you for once.
I said I cut my teeth throwing bags of dynamite. That ought to tell you something.
I saw you throwing dynamite. It was a sight to behold. I had to duck so I didn't get my eye poked out by one of your fingers.
Well, if you cut the wick longer than your pecker this time, the result might be different.
I didn't touch that TNT. You know that perfectly well. All right, into the mouth of the beast, friends. I tell you, we survived a tornado of blood. We wouldn't have any trouble licking some oversized human eater.
All right, so you walk into the tunnel and they're shuffling around in the many holes in the walls, and there's this guttural voice saying, "Where are the bodies for Master?"
Try plow ahead.
All right, so if you're gonna plow ahead, we're going into combat.
Uh-oh.
This does not sound like Legion, the one you were talking to. This
Hmm.
sounds more deranged, more. All right, so combat order. Let's go, Ambrose. You get a 10 of clubs. Bam. Let me know if you'd like to spend a Benny for a different one. We got 20 minutes. Let's do this. 2 of hearts for you, Clank, if you'd like to spend Benny.
No,
All right. Eustace,
hoping for
6
a low
clubs.
number.
6 of clubs, I'll spend a penny.
All right. Then you would get 8 of diamonds.
Oh, hell. All right.
I'll take a Benny from you. Thank you. I have this many bennies because I get 1 for each player as well.
Oh, can we spend a
Buongiorno?
penny to take away your bennies?
No. Buongiorno, you do get a 4 of diamonds. Oh, actually, yeah, 4 diamonds. Would you like to spend Buongiorno? Okay. Jack of
good.
hearts for Jeremiah Jones. And for the things, it's all right. You actually did well by spending because you actually do go before it, Eustace. But we are going to go top of the round. Jack of hearts, Jeremiah Jones. You see these gaunt-looking, skin stretched over their faces, almost looking like the dead.
Oh,
They
God.
start to descend out of the walls, and you count 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 of them total, all crawling out on their hands and knees as they're rushing towards you. What are you doing? Also, this is a fear check for everyone, so everyone can give me a spirit roll. Because we are at fear level 3, you do take a -1.
So I picked up gallows humor, which is I can use taunt in place of spirit when making a fear
Go
check.
for it.
I pass.
Okay,
4 with the -1.
nice. Just let me know if you fail.
Yeah, I'm spending another penny.
Okay. All right. You
I
see.
passed.
Gotcha. You spend a Benny. I'll take your Benny. You can see Kyle. He starts to panic. He is not a wild card.
Not only did I
And he starts shooting.
Okay, I fumbled.
Fumbled. Okay. Why don't you give me a critical failure? Why don't you give me a fear table roll? So roll a d20, and you do get a +2 on it because you did fumble.
Okay, so 3 plus 2 is 5.
5. Okay, so you are distracted until the next turn. That means you are 2 easier to hit. Okay. And that is until the end of your next turn. All right. Not this turn, but next turn. So everyone made that fear roll.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Then you can give me a d20 roll.
Yeah.
I don't know if you add fear level to the fear roll. Let me see. Nope. It's
No, it's
just on
just
the
the
fear check.
creature's modifier.
Yep.
I got a 10.
Okay, with a 10, that means you are shaken. So yeah, those are the standard shaken rules. So that means you got to roll spirit to act or spend a Benny and or. All right, well, Jack of Hearts, Jeremiah Jones, these things are crawling out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I'm going to take out my gun and say, "Come on, you freaks!" And I'm going to start shooting.
Okay, great. It's a 4 to hit, so it is dimly lit, so there will be a penalty. I don't think anyone
Okay.
said anything about light, unless you want to spend a Benny. If someone wants to spend a Benny to get a lantern, they certainly can. Otherwise, you're going to take a -1 penalty because of dim light.
Okay, so I got a 4 raised to 7 plus 1, that's 8, minus 1, that's 7 again.
7. All right, that hits. Why don't you roll the damage for your pistol or whatever
What
you're
it,
firing?
I don't know what the damage
Should
is,
be
actually.
2d6 plus 1
Okay.
for a revolver, just generally.
That is 8 plus 1 is 9.
8. Oh, 9. That's great. So you fire your revolver straight into the center mass of this elongated, emaciated freak. It has a toughness of 7, so that means they are going to try and actually no, they're going to be shaken. I'm not spending a Benny on this. I'm spending Bennies on attack rolls, friends.
Okay.
Okay, so great. That's what happens. Next, 10 of clubs. Ambrose, what are you doing? You're being
Pray to Marionette.
swarmed. They're all around you.
Yeah, pray to Marionette. I want to be better in combat.
All right, so I believe that's a spell casting roll, right?
Yeah, well, Faith.
For faith, yes.
Right. I will cash in my Been to the Crossroads and reroll. That's better. 7.
All right, with a 7, your spell goes through.
Yep. So it doesn't give me the raise to get the better strength bonus, but hey, I will take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds great. So you start praying to the Loa, and you start to manifest this fearsome skeleton behind you. Awesome. It's the 8 of diamonds. That's you, Eustace.
I've been trying to find, I have a minor hindrance of yellow, which I think makes me a scaredy cat.
Oh, really?
But I'm trying in
That's fun.
both the Deadlands book and the general to find exactly how that works, and I'm not finding it so far.
It's called yellow. Is that a hindrance?
Uh, that's what I.
He gains the yellow hindrance. Yeah. It's probably in the Savage Worlds. Let's see. Hindrances. Yellow. No, that's not. Huh? Oh, it might be in the player companion.
That I don't have.
Yeah, I do. Hang on, I'm having a look.
That's so strange. Yeah, paranoid. He's very dark, afraid to wander out to camp. He gains the yellow
Although-
hindrance.
If it's related to something that's in the Deadlands book and says they gain the hindrance, I don't think anything refers then onto another book other than to Savage Worlds. So it must be in here somewhere.
Oh, it's in the horror companion. So you take a -2 penalty to all fear checks.
Oh,
But you already failed, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to roll spirit.
Yep.
And I did get a 4.
So that means you do get to act normally, and you are no
So
longer
yeah,
shaken.
I'm also gonna just start shooting at these creepy crawlers.
All right, are you firing once or are you firing two times? If you fire two times, you take -2 for both.
I don't think I have the presence of mind to pause, aim, and shoot. I think I'm just gonna pop off like a lunatic.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's beautiful.
Uh, so I got a 7, but there's -1 for the
Yep.
darkness.
Yep.
So that I got 1 6. Oh no, I got 1 4 because it's
Yep.
-2 because
-3
of my
total. Yep.
yeah. So my 7's a 4,
That hits.
and my 6 is down to a 3. So only one hit,
All right, great. Roll you've got a Derringer, right? Or
something like that. Is it
uh
2d6?
Derringer I think might be a little lower.
It's smaller.
It's
Yeah,
2d4.
4. A 4 and a 3. Hot diggity.
The four
Oh,
explodes.
Oh, the
yes, the
4
4
explodes.
explodes. Oh, and this
Oh, the 4 exploded again.
awesome.
It's 11, 13.
Holy cow. That is a hit with a raise. So, as you're firing wildly with your pepper box, you actually get one straight between the eyes and it
That
drops.
was the one that was creeping right up on me with its horrible
Yeah.
teeth.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it is these things' turns, and they are ghouls. So, they will attack. There's one shaken, so it's going to make a vigor roll. It rolled a 7, so that's pass. So it's no longer shaking. It gets to act normally. Let's say two of them are just gonna gang up on Kujarelli. So I will just roll once with with a wild die. They got a 6 fight. Ugh. What's your parry, Kujarelli? You are distracted, so it is -2.
So if my parry is -2, that would make it a 4.
All right. So then in that case, they will hit you because you're kind of shaking and you've got your arms up instinctively, but they don't cover your vitals. So here comes the damage. Woo! It's plus, you know, as two of them, they rush you and they end up doing 9 damage against your toughness of
So I have a
6,
toughness of 7.
7. All right, so it does go through. You are shaken. You are going to make me an immediate vigor roll.
All right, vigor roll.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. I got a 5.
Okay, with a 5, you are not, you feel your muscles feel tense. They're about to almost stop working on you as they lock up, but you fight through it. So that was two of them. The next one is going to go towards Jeremiah. Miss, I'll spend a penny. Miss, I'll spend a penny. Nope, spend a penny. Spent 4 pennies right there. And what is your parry?
2.
Oh, great. So it is going to get the damage on you. So your toughness against. Oh, I'm
I have
rerolling that damage. What's your toughness?
5.
5? Okay, it did roll 6, so you are shaken. Make an immediate vigor roll for me, please.
9.
9. All right. So once again, you do feel this almost paralysis, but you shake it off. However, you are still shaken. All right. There's still two more that I have to adjudicate, and I think they're just going to work together against Ambrose, so they will get a wild die.
Uh-oh.
I got a 6. It explodes. That is a 7 total. I did roll a 1, so
It's not a raise, thankfully, because I've got parry of 4.
that's good. That's good. So here comes the damage. Oh, the 4 explodes.
Ugh.
So, oh, the 4 explodes. 8, 12. That's 15.
Which is 10 over my 5.
Yeah, so it goes 5 shaken, right? 9 wounded 1.
Yep.
So you are going to be shaken and wounded 1.
We haven't got that long. I will spend a Benny to soak.
Okay, go ahead and roll vigor.
Yep. Uh,
I'll take your Benny, thank you.
yeah, you can have another one.
I'll take your Benny again.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Come
the
on.
tides of the Bennies
There we
changing hands
go.
rapidly.
Oh, well, I previously got a pair of 2s, and now I've got a 6, 6, and a 3, so that's 15.
So that's 2 successes. You are not shaken, nor are you wounded. So let's say the Loa instinctively brings up the bony forearms and it blocks the ghoul's attack. Awesome. And that is now Bongiorno's turn. You're distracted. You will be distracted until the end of your next turn. These things are swarming.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take the two ghouls and just like smash their heads together.
Great. Let's see what happens.
All
I'll say you can deal damage to both on a raise.
right.
Don't forget, you can also wild attack, which means you get a +2, but then you're distracted for the rest of the end of your next turn.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a reroll.
Okay, I'll take your Benny. Thank you.
Okay, so I just got a 4.
Ooh, a 4 total. That is not enough. Unless you want to pay.
It's not enough to hit.
Nope.
Okay, I'll spend another one.
All right. The number you're looking for is 5.
Nope, I got another 4.
Okay. Unlucky. All right. So you're ineffectively just swinging just wildly into the darkness. It is Clank's turn. What are you doing? You can just fireball the entire corridor and it'd be funny.
Well,
That's what
not
blast is.
what I was thinking, but what I was thinking is we could certainly use some light. Uh,
Yes, you certainly can.
we're kind of in the going down into the basement. We're down into the basement.
No, you're just in the tunnel that's entering
Okay,
the
we're in the
basin.
tunnel. We're in the tunnel.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is once again deal with the devil to
All
get
right.
the
So you
points
get your
in
cards
order.
out. It's kind of hard to see them in the dark. But yeah, as
Yeah.
as this chaos going around, you hunker down, you put your back against the wall, and you start taking your cards out. What kind of spell are you trying to cast here?
I'm going to try to cast light,
Oh,
and I'm going
okay.
to aim it up at the ceiling so that the whole ceiling lights up
I think
like the
that's a
sun.
great use of your power. I think there is a light power.
It's
There
light,
is.
light darkness.
It's
Yeah.
2 points of 2 power points to
Okay,
cast.
yeah. So you can go ahead and why don't you roll your gambling?
That's a 5.
Okay, with a 5, you would draw 6 cards. Now this is PowerPoints too, so even a ace high card should be able to do it for you.
Okay. Uh,
Page 68, I believe. Oh, I'm good.
I got two. I got one pair.
All right, so with one pair, that is 3 PowerPoints, so you can use the difference to get a +1 in your spellcasting roll because it does cost 2, and you got 3.
Okay, say that again. Sorry.
Why don't you roll a
Spellcasting.
spellcasting roll with a +1 modifier?
I got 6 on both dice.
Ooh, 6 on both
Uh,
die.
yeah. So they both explode, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I got 2 on both dice. So
So you can
8.
focus it into a beam, or you can just like light up everything.
I think I want to just light up everything
All right.
like sunlight level.
Yeah,
So the
and I
whole
think
room
that's a
is.
that's a brilliant like flashbang. So not and you can see these ghouls, they react to the sunlight. They start to shield their eyes. It hurts them. So they're gonna take a -2 on all of their rolls because of their weakness to light. In addition to eliminating the dim light penalty on all of your team's attacks. Meanwhile, Pete Townsend, he's gonna roll spirit. Sorry, not Pete, Kyle. He fails. So he's still panicking. Ah! And he's firing his lever action rifle ineffectively. Top of the round. Let's go. Can we go a little over? I think we're still good. So
Sure,
seven
that's
of
fine.
diamonds for you, Ambrose.
Mhm.
Seven of clubs for you, Clank.
Okay.
Five of diamonds for you, Eustace.
Oh, hell.
Bongiorno, four of hearts. Jeremiah, eight of hearts. And, ooh, a nine of diamonds for the enemy. And a nine of hearts for Kyle. So actually Kyle acts first, so let's see if he rolls spirit. He did get a four, so he kind of snaps back into it and he's like, "Die, you monsters!" Bam, bam, bam. So he's got a shooting. He's gonna roll that. Oh my god, it rolled an 8 plus a 4. That's a 12. That's a raise. That's 2d8 plus the d6 for damage. So that is 6 plus 3 plus 6 again. 15 damage. Absolutely blasts a ghoul, blowing it to pieces. And now it's the ghoul's turn. They are going to attack him. Not
Good
Pete.
man, take one for the team.
Yeah, he's taking one to the team. I think two of them, they're going to descend onto him. And they bring him to the ground. Oh my god, he got a raise. No, sorry, he got a 6. He got another 6. That's ooh, that's rough. That's 16 against his toughness.
Kyle, who told you to wear a red shirt?
Well, sucks for Kyle. So that's gonna do an additional d6 damage. So I'm rolling a d8 plus d4 plus d6. The 8 explodes. This is not good for him. 4 plus 8 plus 7. Ooh, that is 19. Yeah, I think he can't soak this at all. I think he's just
It was
he
nice knowing you.
descends as they all start clawing at his chest cavity. He might be savable if you're quick, but Kyle has bit the dust.
Mm.
So that was two of the ghouls. There's still two left. I think the Loa, they're gonna be attacked.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, yeah. So it's just a D6. What's your toughness? I'm sorry, your parry. My bad.
4.
4. Okay, so that is a 1. I'm gonna re-roll. Gonna keep re-rolling. Gonna keep re-rolling.
Hey, we're worrying you out of bennies.
I've got like I have this amount of bennies left.
Oh,
So I did roll a 6. And I rolled another 6. And I rolled
nah.
another 6. That's crazy. And I roll a 5. So what? That's
It's only
23.
1 extra d6 on damage. You definitely hit with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 23 minus 2 because of the light. All right. That's gonna be an extra D6. I'm going as fast as I can. Speed racer. All right, that's 4 plus 3, 7 plus another 3, 10. 10 against your toughness of
5.
5
So
is a raise. So that is wounded 1 and shaken if you do
I'm,
not
al-
choose the soak.
I'm already shaken as well, and I've run
Oh,
out
so
of
that's
bennies,
wounded
so I
2
can't
then.
soak.
Okay, so you are wounded 2
Yep.
and you're shaken. And on top of that, please make me a vigor roll.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's good. 5 and a 6 on my 2d6, and another 6. And a 3. 6, 6, and 3 again, so 15.
15. That's pretty good. So you resist the paralysis. One last school, and I think it's gonna go to.
Oh,
It's gonna
hang
go
on.
to.
Well, the wounded would actually count minus off that as well, wouldn't it? So it would be 13 rather than 15. But
Okay.
yeah, still 2 raise.
Yeah, I think Eustace is gonna be attacked. He's
What
an
did
easy
I
target.
do?
They're gonna try and drag you into the tunnels.
I ain't going.
What is your parry? It is 5. So I'll spend a penny to keep re-rolling. I've spent 3 pennies so far.
That's right.
You spent a load on me as well.
Yeah, I know. I got them. I got to use them. I got 2 pennies left, but I did roll a 6. So 6 plus 5, 11 minus 2 is 9 because of the blinded. So it does hit you with a 9, Eustace. So that is with a raise. So I'm going to roll with extra damage. You have a toughness of what, 5?
5.
All right. So that is 1, 2, and 4. That is going. I don't like those numbers, but the 4 does get to explode. So that's 7 right now. Uh, Rolling another 2, that's 9. That is shaken and wounded if you don't choose to soak the damage.
I have 2 bennies left, and I'm going to spend 1.
All right, make a vigor roll.
Wish I were more vigorous in general.
If you get a 4, you can reduce that.
I got a 4 that explodes,
Nice.
and then it's just a 1.
Oh, okay. So you do get rid of wounded 1. So instead, they just slash ineffectively at you, but they want that poison to seep in. So why don't you give me one more vigor roll to see if that paralysis takes point as it starts to spread through your body. Ah!
Oh, that's my last benny
Okay, I'll take your Benny.
with a high of a 3.
Delicious.
And that is a 4 that explodes.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. You are not paralyzed. This is so scary. Well, that was the ghoul's turn at 9 of diamonds. Now we got the 8 of hearts. So Jeremiah Jones, your friends are being attacked.
Yeah, one of them attacked me also, so I'm going to just keep shooting.
All right, great.
Now you can see them. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you no longer take the dim light penalty.
Okay, but I got a 3, which is not very good.
Would you like to spend Benny?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I can re-roll on a Benny, right?
Yeah, I'll take the Benny. Bam.
Shh. I rolled double ones.
Oh no, I think you shoot someone again.
oh my God, my ass.
I think it'd just be humorous if
It's
Joe
already
gets
got a
shot-
big crack in it.
Yeah, you get shot in the ass again, Joe. Why don't you roll damage?
Damn
2d6
it.
plus 1.
I'm sorry, Joe.
The shot goes wide. Joe's sitting down playing with his cards, and he gets shot in the ass again.
Matching pair.
What's the damage? Or does he roll the damage?
He
or do
rolls
I?
the damage, 2d6 plus 1. Against your toughness of what, 5?
5.
Yeah.
12.
Oh my lord. Okay. So
Sorry.
that is wounded 1 and shaken. Would you like to soak by paying a Benny?
I've got 1 Benny left. Yeah, I'll soak.
Okay, why don't you make me a vigor roll?
Okay. Oh, that's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay, with a 5, you are not wounded, but you are shaken. So it's just the flesh wound. It goes through
God,
the
quit
fat.
shooting at me.
All right.
I made the light.
It is your turn, Ambrose. You are shaken and wounded too. You're not feeling so good.
Well, I'll see if I can get rid of the shaken first.
All right.
Yeah, that's a 6 and the 9 on my D12 is good. So
Awesome.
not shaken.
Not shaken, just wounded 2.
Yeah.
You don't feel so good.
No, but there's someone that's worse than me at the minute, and that's
Yes.
our musical Townsend brother. So I'm going to dive on, see if I can dive over to him, leap onto to him to at least grab hold of him. and try and heal him.
Doesn't look good. He's savable, right? But he's his chest heaving, his innards have become outards. You can see his intestines kind of spilling out like bloated, bloodied eels.
That's why I say I'm going to try and heal, cast
Alright.
healing on him.
Yeah, give me that spellcasting roll or whatever roll you'd require.
Faith. Yeah,
Faith!
man.
A little faith.
Double 5s, but I will again use my Been to the Crossroads to get my reroll on faith rolls.
Awesome.
That's better. 11.
11. Great. So that's with a raise. So what does this look like? What are the trappings of it?
Again, this nice warm glow as described.
It's like a
described
good
previously.
day. And you can see his organs just going back into his body, and they almost like stitch up without any stitches. But he will live. He's out of the fight. Kyle's out of the fight.
That's fine. I don't want his
He's
brother
gonna
on,
make
on
it.
our ass.
Nice. All right, so that was 7 of diamonds, 7 of clubs. Joe Clank Townsend, you've just been shot in the ass. You're shaking. What are you doing?
Okay.
So you will have to make a
So
spirit roll
I would-
act. or spend a
I
penny.
was shot. I was shot in the ass, but no.
You are
I soaked
shaken.
it. Okay.
Yeah, you are shaken.
Spirit roll first.
Yep.
All right.
And if you fail this, you cannot act, unfortunately.
Okay. I got a 4.
Oh, so you can act normally. What are you doing? There's 4 of
Um,
these freaks.
I pull out my Colt Peacemaker.
Hell yeah.
I point it right at Jeremiah,
All
and then I shoot the nearest ghoul to
right, that's the
him.
one on him.
And I
Sounds
want to
good.
make him sure he sees me point it right at him.
Very nice.
Jesus, careful, Joe.
Yeah, right.
All
Uh,
you need is a 4 to hit.
that's fighting or shooting?
That is
Shooting.
shooting. Rootin' tootin'.
I got a 5.
Nice. 5 hits. Roll 2d6 plus 1 as the damage. Rudy Tooty point and shooty.
11, 9, 12.
12. Wow.
Same
That is
same that you shot at me. I shot at you.
this ghoul is not going to soak. It's just going to die.
He's not got
So-
an ass like yours.
Bam! You blow his head off, skull fragments go everywhere. An eyeball flies out and almost hits you in the head.
I
That's
sort of
your
look
turn.
at Jeremiah like, see, that's how you shoot a gun.
Eustace, it's your turn. You are
Nearly
shaken.
stopped my heart.
There's
Do we
3
have?
of these freaks left.
There's still 3 of these damn things.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Well,
stirred up the hornet's nest.
let's. I didn't do anything of the sort. I was
Y'all
gonna.
didn't bring the bodies. Where are the bodies, our master?
Right.
You will do.
My 6 exploded. I got an 8
Oh,
from my
okay.
vigor.
It should be a spirit roll for your shaken.
Uh, yeah, same roll.
Yep. Then you pass. You can act normally.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fire away at one of these ugly bastards. I only got a 4 though.
4 hits.
4 hits.
Yeah. Roll 2d4 damage.
1,
Pepper them with the pepper box.
3.
3. A 3 is not good enough,
1 and a
unfortunately.
2.
So, if you'd like to spend a penny, now would be an appropriate time.
I'm
If you have
afraid I am currently benefit free.
any. Out of luck. Then, in that case, you would squeeze the trigger a couple more times. It just goes ineffectively through the ribs, and there's just no organs there. It goes right through the other side. Buongiorno, what are you doing? You're still distracted until the end of your turn, but I guess it doesn't really apply anymore because they won't get to attack.
All right, I'm going to go for round 2.
All right. Fists up. Let's go.
Oh my God, I'm going to spend another Benny.
I'll
Wait,
take it.
do I just have to pass, or do I have to get?
You have to get a against their parry, which is 5.
Okay.
Tornado of claws.
Okay. I got a 6. Thank God.
Okay,
Oh,
that
actually,
hits.
wait, that explodes.
All
'Cause
right,
it's,
then let's see if you do extra damage. If you get a 9 or above, then you do deal an extra
no.
d6 damage. All right, then
I
roll
got
damage.
8.
Should be your strength plus, I believe, a d6 if you're a brawler.
Yes. Oh yeah, there it is.
While he
Total of-
does that, I'm gonna deal out more cards.
Total of 10.
10. All right, you smash another ghoul. It is shaken, but you sucker punch it right in the head. 9 of clubs for Ambrose. For Clank, 2 of clubs, unless you want to hit Benny. Eustace, Queen of Diamonds. Buongiorno, Ace of Hearts. Jeremiah, Jack of Clubs. The Monsters, Queen of Hearts. All right, it is your turn, Buongiorno, once more.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to again
Do it. Just,
punch the one that's shaken. I'm gonna go
yeah,
for the
yeah,
one that's
that
shaken
would
already.
definitely
Yeah.
eliminate them if you get a normal success. So why don't you go ahead and roll fighting against
Okay.
DC 5 because it's parry's 5.
Okay, I'm spending another Benny.
Okay, I'll take your Benny.
I got a 7. Okay.
Okay, with a
This is getting
7.
ridiculous at this point.
That hits. Roll your strength and your D6.
Total of 8.
8. Okay. So, yeah, you punch it in the head, it bounces off, and then you just go and reel back for a stronger punch. Your fist goes through its face, like through the back of its skull. It is done. And it drops to the
Nice.
ground, sprawled out.
Finally, I can get something done around here.
Yes, and now it is the ghoul's turn. And in rage, they are going to, and maybe with a little fear, they're going to make a spirit roll. They did make that, so they are going to continue fighting.
Go
So,
back in your dang holes, you filthy things.
yeah, I mean, I suppose one of you could intimidate, but it looks like with their numbers lowered, they're kind of looking at each other. But they are going to attack Kujarelli together because it's just the two of them left. They're gonna pile on you, Kujarelli, and you do take. That's a fail. So I'm gonna spend a Benny. Kujarelli, you already hurt this morning, right? Or were you fully healed? No,
No,
you're
I wasn't.
wounded.
I'm already wounded. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't take wounded penalties, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll spend a Benny to reroll. That's a 6. Explodes 11 total against your value of 7. That is a raise. They're gonna roll damage. As they pile on you, they start slashing at you with their long claws. That is going to be 5 plus 3, 8 damage total against your toughness of 7. So you will be shaken unless you choose to soak.
No, I'm not going to.
All right. Well, that was the ghouls. It is now Queen of Diamonds, Eustace. What are you doing?
Fire away. Again, I've got to roll spirit first.
Yes. Oh, I don't have you as shaken.
Oh, am I no? Am
Yeah.
I?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Then I just am rolling to shoot. Oh, well, I only got a 4. Don't
A
have
4
any
is enough.
bennies. All right.
Yeah, a 4 is enough when you're shooting because you're not really trying to
Oh, and
fight
my
in
4
hand-to-hand combat.
exploded, so I got
Beautiful.
7.
A 7 is enough. So you shoot one and it reels back. It's shaken. Other players can target that now. It is going to be the Jack of Clubs. Jeremiah, are you going to take advantage of this ghoul that Eustace is blasted? And also, Eustace, you fire, right? That last shot, and you keep firing, and it goes click, 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 click.
Oh, hell. This was supposed to be the easy part, fellers.
I'm gonna take care of this for you, Eustace. I got a 5 on my attack
That's enough.
roll.
Roll damage. So if it's a revolver, it's 2d6 plus 1.
6 this time
6 total.
total.
Would
Yeah.
you like to reroll? You're
You
going to
know
need
what?
a 7 or above.
I'll spend a Benny. Yeah,
All right, take the Benny. I'm not going to use it to soak or anything.
I got
That's
exactly a 7.
exactly a 7. That's enough. As Eustace blasts it with the remaining shots of his Derringer, you fire straight into its torso, and its like limbs come off. It's horrible.
Ooh,
Yeah. So good turn. It is now the 9 of clubs, Ambrose.
I think I'm going to turn that healing hand away from the Townsend brother and put it directly on me because I need to get rid of those wounds.
You do before too much time has passed. So go ahead
Yeah.
and make that spirit roll. You do get a -2 because you are wounded.
Yep.
It's hard to concentrate as you're losing blood. You're getting lightheaded.
Yeah, I have been to the crossroads. Hey,
You don't want to come back.
Hell no, once was enough. 10 minus 2 is an 8. So
Still
that's
a raise. So you
raise.
are wounded 0 now as you
Bye-bye.
heal yourself fully. Clank, there's one left.
I'm going to fire the same as last time.
All right, let's see it. Just roll a 4 or above.
I got a 6, and
6.
so that
Does that explode?
A 6 and then a 4.
Oh man, that's a headshot. Great. Why don't you roll 3d6 plus 1 for the total damage? Because you do get an extra d6 because you have to raise.
So that's 10.
10. All right. Would you like to re-roll in hopes of getting an 11 or better to just one-shot it?
If I get less, can I keep the 10?
Sure.
Yeah, I think the only time you
That's how
don't
it
get
works.
to choose the better
It's only
is
if
if
you
you roll
fumble.
snake eyes. Yeah.
But like this isn't a damage roll anyway, so.
Got 11.
Oh, then that's enough. How do you do it? How do you finish off this ghoul?
I just concentrate and I point it right at his head and then fire.
Yeah, and there's just brain matter that gets all over Jeremiah Jones.
I really didn't think I was going to be the one who did all the shooting.
With that being said, the dust settles, the ghouls, they lie broken, and combat is over. And with that, we're just going to end the session there as Haunting Rock Camp lies beyond this this corridor.
This was the easy part. Our players included Matthew Sanderson, David Gasway, Stefan Amshi, Max Meltzer, and myself, with Alex Sun as the game marshal. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of Deadlands and the Savage Worlds role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.